I remember you started cutting Kendrick too. Like what was like, because I know that y'all are all around in that same area. Like, how did that come about?
So Dave Free, Kendrick's manager.
Okay.
And his Dave best friend was Deron. They lived in Paramount. I was cutting Deron hair. Deron brought Dave to me, and Dave and Deron used to have this thing called Real Talk Tuesday, where they just jump on Facebook Live, go crazy, and then get off. And so Dave brought J-Rock to me. Then J-Rock brought Kendrick to me. And then Kendrick and Dave and everybody else brought Top to me. And then it opened up the door a little bit for Schoolboy. And then I was running, you know. So.
Welcome to the Barber Star podcast, brought to you by Suprema, hosted by the Marcus Harvey. This is where game gets passed, not gatekept. Suprema is the freshest the world's ever been. A virtual barbershop and professional network for barbers, stylists, and grooming pros who want more than just likes. They want legacy. Whether you're just getting started or you're ready to cut celebrities, executives, and athletes, we built this community for you.
What up? What's happening, y'all? It's your man, the Marcus Harvey, the illustrious, as you know. And today, you know, always we have the show, The Barber Star, where every star needs a barber, but every barber ain't a star. So, of course, we got to talk to one of those guys who is a star, who's a barber in our community, influencer, celebrity, mastermind, everything from Paul Mitchell to Andis to Kendrick to Charleston White. This man has been all over the spectrum. Paul Mitchell, Figaro. Man, the list goes on. Man, that's a popular nobody. You can't be no popular nobody and do all that stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, John Mosley. Yes, y'all.
What it do, bro?
We usually put like a little cheering in there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Thank you for jumping on.
You got the little applause thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one.
You got to, bro.
I gotta get one. I need to figure this out. I'm gonna figure all this computer stuff out.
Is he like that?
Oh, look.
Come on now.
Man, listen.
You D. Marcus Harvey, bro. You gotta have that.
You just got hired. You didn't even know it. You just got hired. You got another job on you. Now the representative, the clap applause for Barber Star. John Mosley. What's up with it? What's good with you, brother?
Man, I'm chilling, brother. Fresh out the gym. You know, getting ready to catch a flight later on.
Okay, you get summertime fresh, or this is just everyday life? This how you just normally get in your zen mode?
Nah, you know, I decided to take a different approach in life. I was tired of being out of shape and breathing heavy and all that. And so I said, I got to make a change. And then it helps you more than you think, you know, with your discipline, your mental stability, and all of that. So I just made that switch, bro. I'm going to a different place. So I gotta elevate all the way around.
How's that actually been going? Like, have you been seeing a difference in your mentality, your mindset as a result of working out?
Yeah, I've definitely seen a difference. You know, I'm not as stressed out. I'm not as like on edge. It just gives me a chance to really have a moment, an hour and a half before my day gets started with my trainer, just to relax and be with another positive influence.
Okay. So you got your trainer. You want to shout your trainer out, or you trying to keep it on the low?
No, man. My trainer Strap, man. That boy be killing me. I be on the road. He be sending me videos like, "Hey, you got to go get this done." I'm like, "Come on, dog. I'm on the road."
Hey, speaking of the road, what you on the road for? What you got going on right now?
Today I'm fly out to Memphis and I'm going to speak at a Paul Mitchell school.
Dang. Hey, listen. For y'all who don't know, I'm always gonna give the meeting point in which I talk to all my dope illustrious guests. I think we met at a Barber Brothers show. Did we meet at a Barber Brothers show? Or was it the LA joint? And
I think it was something in LA.
I think I remember the Curtis Smith had that panel out there.
Yep. And
me and you finally had met, and I was just like, yo, this dude need to be an old lineman first off, but his hands is as soft as a wide receiver. I saw him, and then I started like doing my research and been like, oh, he lying talking about he a nobody. This is a popular somebody. This man is lying. Man, John, hey man, it was amazing, and I think we just hit it off. And then after that, man, we were able to, you know, share clients here and there and really get some dope things popping. You were able to fill in for some spots for me. You know, I've been able to fill in for some spots for you. It's just been cool. It's been a cool relationship, and that's what I love about, you know, the camaraderie that we all have in this industry, man. So I remember that specifically, meeting you from there now. Yeah. I remember we was at that white background. I think Brandy was out there. Curtis was out there. It was just a star-studded.
Yeah,
it was a star-studded joint. It was just a dope situation, man. Hey, so first question, man. Like, I like to start it off by this thing we call bit by the Clippers. You know how the Clippers used to bite you back in the day? But that, for barbers, has always been the thing that ignites them into becoming a barber. So how did you even embark on your journey in becoming a barber?
So a lot of people don't know my family history inside the beauty space. You know, my mother, Doris Mosley, my sister, Lily, and then my sister, Ann. My sister, Ann, is a esthetician, microblader, all of that deals with the skin. Okay. That's my sister Ann. My sister Lily actually works on sets. She castled for so many years. She just finished the Michael Jackson project. So my family history is beauty. And then, I jumped into the barbering space, be different. I didn't want to be the salmon that swim the same way. So I jumped into the barbering space, and that's literally how we got into it. Our mom prepped and bred educators, and then Pops just was a photographer. So I think, and he works on the railroad. So for me, it was like I got that balance from both of them.
Yeah, it sounds like you've always, something that Jamie Foxx said a long time ago was like, when he was talking about the role for Ray and the role for Any Given Sunday specifically, he was talking about he was always given tools to be able to perform at the maximum time when it was open for him to show it. You know what I'm saying? So he played quarterback in high school, and randomly Any Given Sunday comes up, and he's able to be the only actor who can really throw and looks like a quarterback,
Willie Beeman,
steaming. They keep the ladies.
And cocaine.
Come on, man. You all right? Don't stop me. Okay. So your mom, let's talk about that. So your mom and your dad your dad's a photographer. Your mom is in the hair space. Like, what did she do specifically? Give us some history about your mom.
So my mother, Doris Mosley, she came up in the beginning parts of this where, it's funny now, I call her like the Oprah Winfrey of hair. You know what I mean? But she worked with Dudley Products, Kazuri, and like all them old school black brands that was building. She's, friends with the Browners. And so she, moved to LA and was on welfare and all of that. And she told me that, because I asked her, I said, Mom, why are you what made you do beauty? And she said that she was always felt as a kid that she wasn't beautiful enough, and her mother told her she was too ugly. So she moved to LA, started beauty school to find her purpose and find her beauty. And so in that, she started to do hair and ended up loving it. And then she got moving, got motion. And then she opened up a salon called ABS, another beauty salon. And then my sister got into it coming out of high school. And then when my sister graduated high school, she studied at Vidal Sassoon in London. Yeah, my mom sent her to London to study at Vidal Sassoon. And so she came back and was competing and doing all of that. And so my mom just, product line, hair show, and so it was like, it's just embedded in us. It's like our family is straight beauty. So that's why when people wonder why I take it so serious, it's like, shit, I grew up with this. Like, I know what it was like before the Instagram and before TikTok and before all of that, when educators really was educating and putting on shows. And that's, I put a clip up not too long ago and said, what's missing from hair shows? And I said, shows. You know what I mean? The show is missing out of the show. So
the spectacularness of it, the pageantry, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you pretty much Kanan Stark out this mug. You was raised in the hair dope game, man. You out here.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Like, so give me a memory of accompanying your mom to one of these hair shows, because I see how you move. And as you just mentioned before, you're very serious about this hair game. Give me the moment in your memory that you can remember when you went with your mother and you kind of felt that like charge to be like, yo, this is something I want to do.
Bro, I never had that feeling.
Word.
Yeah, no, I've never had, like, me being a barber was a complete accident.
What you want to be before?
Man, I went through so much shit. Like, I wanted to be an architect. I wanted to work with fiber optics. I wanted to do computer graphics and stuff like that. And so I was playing college football. And I got tired of getting hit by grown men for free.
Come on, man.
And so I literally, halfway through the season, I just decorated my locker like a shrine, like a Hall of Fame shrine, and never returned. And my mom was like, you got to do something. And I was like, Mom, you know what? I think I want to go to barber school. But I was really trying to buy myself time, thinking she was going to be happy with me making that decision. And I was like, okay, cool, I could lie about this. buy some time,
Yep.
and then I could figure something else out. And then 3 days later, I was enrolled in barber school, and I hated it for like the first 6 months. And then once I showed my mom some of my work, she was like, you know what, you could be really good at this if you actually put some energy behind it. And then once that happened, that conversation happened, I just turned up.
You turned up. How old were you around that time?
20.
20. Okay. Where'd you go to college?
Barber college or college?
Yeah, getting hit for free and then getting that shit. Yeah.
I was at Orange Coast Community College in Huntington Beach, California, and then Barber College. I went to a small college in Long Beach. I don't like saying their names because how they treated me when I was there, but
Dang, they hate you. They hate you.
yeah.
God, hey.
But shout out my instructor. I had 2 dope ass instructors, Mr. Tom and Mo. So I say they names, but the school itself, nah.
What'd you learn from Tom and what'd you learn from Mo?
Tom was a Hispanic cat, laid back, chill. You know, he was the type of instructor that'll let you sink and then come over and put the holes back in, you know, fix the holes in your boat to show you how to get out of those jams. So I learned that from Tom and just how to stay calm, cool, even when I'm educating. That's what you see. And then from Mo was more of the younger instructor teaching us how to flick that wrist and how to, you know, navigate the clipper a little bit different with the comb and all of that. So Tom was old school, clipper over comb guy, you know, magic hand, like just show you what to do when you need it. But Mo was the one in the trenches and was like, this how you gonna get that half blend. This how you gonna.
Yeah.
So it was a good balance of both.
You show your mom, you know, some of your work, and she's like, yo, she puts a little bit more of a battery in your back, and you start really going. Like, what's that process like? You start turning up, like you start going a little harder in class and school. What changed?
My effort changed. You know, I was showing up to school with a different energy, and at that time, you had to have 750 haircuts to graduate school. I finished with over 2,000.
Word.
So that it was really that practice where you want to be, not where you at. And I was practicing for where I was gonna go. And I didn't know where I was going at the time, but I just knew when I came out the gate, I had to be ready to go, you know? And so that's what I did, and I fell in love with it. The school didn't want me to cut no more hair because I was cutting too many people. My back was up against the vending machine. I was cutting in the back of the school, and I'm like, yeah, so I had to work my way.
And you was a lineman too, so you weren't mad at that. You was like,
yeah, let me get a snack.
I know what it was. I was a big boy too. They used to call me Bookman back in the day in my barbershop. They used to roast my little fat ass. They were like, hey man, what you trying to do, Booker? But you ain't trying to work. You ain't trying to do work buffalo butt. So they be on me, bro.
You know, it come with the territory. If you ain't in a barbershop like that, people so sensitive now, man. But that's what built character in the barbershop. That's where the movie came from. You know, it's the character, the feeling that the community get when they come into the shop. They want to come see us. You know, we the stars of the show. And so that's the mentality I always got. That's why when you see me on stage, I take the barbershop to the stage.
Yes, sir. So we fast forward, you know, you finish with 2,000 haircuts. What's the next move that you're making in that spot? Like, are you like working in the shop with your mom, or are you like, what you doing? You found your own shop, or you like, yo, I'm about to go and spread my own weeds, find my own block. You know what I'm saying?
So it's funny. My mom's shop was in Inglewood, California.
Okay.
And her shop was right next door to John Burgundy's shop.
Say word.
Yeah, so John wanted me to come work at his shop coming out of school.
Okay.
And I just, at the time, I don't know what happened, but I chose to stay back in the city, and I worked back in Long Beach.
Okay.
And I went to Premier Hairstylist. And, you know, at the time, Premier, it was only 2 real barbershops in Long Beach at the time that was making noise. You was either going to Mr. Baker or you was going to Premier. And so I went over to Premier and met with the owner, and I just told him, like, look, bro, I'm never gonna leave your shop until I'm making a forward progress decision. And shit, I stayed there my whole career.
Damn, that's what's up, man. So then, okay, you in the shop, and you know the ins and outs of like sponsorship through, you know, the family history. Like, when did you start like making noise and start partnering with people like, you know, Paul Mitchell, Salon Centrics, and it's Vergaro? Like, what was your first like partnership?
My first partnership was with, actually, Feather Razor. Jatai.
That's the razor. Okay.
Yeah, that was my first partnership. I used to teach it was called the $500 shave. And that was like one of my first educational
Hey,
like
let me tell you how I know you big stuff, because you're like, yeah, it's like the $500 shave. Man, shut your ass up, man. What year was it that you was charging niggas $500 for a shave?
Nah, see, that was the play. That was I was a marketing genius before even people met me.
Okay.
The $500 shave was to get your ass to come to that class, right?
Gotcha.
It's the experience that comes with the razor, the experience that come with understanding how to shave properly. So you could charge $500 if people wanted to pay it at the time, but it was really more so a marketing play on getting people to understand the quality of the shave, but also the quality of the product.
Word. And this is something that you developed at that time, like the whole process. They came to you and you like, this is how we can collab in a sense?
100%. And then, they was out of Buena Park, California. So it was literally like 20, 30 minutes from where I was. And I just built a relationship with them, and that's how it happened. And then, that's my bow tie days and shit.
Yeah, hey, I got a picture of that. I'm about to
Nah, don't do that one.
All right, throw the picture of it. You don't even listen to this part. We threw the picture of it right now. Boom, right there, the bow tie. Like that. I saw your ass. I saw your ass.
Yeah, man. So that was that. That was that. And then, so Feather was the first opportunity that I got. But at the time, my chili was already getting hot. You know what I mean? I was cutting Terry Kennedy, the black skateboarder out of Long Beach. Rel Stanton, he was a skateboarder for Element. So I was already kind of like getting that motion going. And then the phone just started ringing. And I got a phone call from a lady named Yolanda Johnson one day. And she asked me would I be available. It was like the date was like 3 months from the time we talked. And I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, who knows what the hell.
Yeah.
And I just said, yeah. And it ended up being for Celebrity Fit Club.
Word.
So I was the barber for Celebrity Fit Club for 6 seasons on the low. That was before Instagram and all that. So,
See, you young barbers don't know nothing, man. We've been doing stuff before there was a gram, before there was a YouTube, before there was all that stuff. It was just come to the shows, word of mouth. Facebook was going off crazy back then, but it wasn't on the level of like interacting with somebody like this. You weren't like, putting together, you were just having to admire somebody from a distance, man. So Celebrity Fit Club, that was crazy. So like, who are all the people that you were cutting on there?
Warren G, Bazaar, the Sergeant.
Yeah. I remember him.
Dr. Ian.
Yeah.
All of so I was cutting all the guys.
Yeah.
So I was cutting all the guys, and so I did that for 6 seasons, and then I went over to Celebrity Rap Superstar.
Okay.
And then I started cutting over there. And then from that I think that lasted like 1 season. That shit was trash.
In and out. You were Aiden Skate.
It was a horrible show.
That's when the beginning of that's around the beginning of reality shows too.
Yeah, that was literally like the beginning of reality TV.
Yeah, and nobody really know what they're doing.
No, it was just throw some rappers on stage to coach these actors into how to rap, and then that was that. And so I jumped into that, and then from there I picked up Idris Elba.
Good old Idris. Yeah, okay. Let's slow down right there, because we're gonna ask some questions. You get Idris, Stringer Bell. You get the good black dark skinned dude in the Tyler Perry movies. You know how rare that is to get a good dark skinned brother in a Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah, man.
That ain't going upside somebody's head. We love you, Tyler, man. Tyler Perry, best person I work with. I ain't gonna front. Dopest guy I work with. But yeah, man, like tell me about Idris, man. Like, cause I know he was a DJ over in London, right? And then like still DJs. Yeah, Idris Elba was probably the Forrest Gump of black folks. He done had a million lives, and then I just kept running. He done lived in London, sold a little dope, so little scratching, and then do all the little stuff. How did that link up? Tell me how that went.
So the barber that was on Celebrity Rap Superstar with me, his name was Brett. Brett, OG in the game.
I remember Brett, yeah.
If you're loving this episode and want to go from listener to community member, check out our First Chair membership. It's the easiest way to join the combo inside Suprema. You'll get community access, feedback from top-tier barbers. So, if you're ready to be surrounded and supported, hit that link and take your seat in the first chair.
you know, he cutting everybody at the time. It was like him, Stacey Cousin, a few other, but Brett was quiet. Nobody really knew of Brett. And so I was on Celebrity Rap Superstar. You know, the OGs, they like, shit, we ain't about to work this hard. So I'm over there. I'm eager beaver. I'm cutting everybody. Like, bro, just put him in the chair. I got him.
Yeah.
And so he liked my work ethic. And so he couldn't cut Idris for the movie Obsessed.
Okay. Oh, that's why he was a bad guy. He was a bad.
So they gave.
You almost had the good black guy. We got. Okay, it's all good. We like.
Yeah, you feel me? So Brett passed him over to me and was like, "Yo, can you handle him?" So I took care of Idris for Celebrity Rap. Obsessed. And then the British GQ magazine, I got him for that and a few other things. And then Brett passed me Ice Cube. So for like Ice Cube Coors Light commercials and stuff like that, Brett shot me the love for that. And so
Ice Cube,
you know what I mean?
With Idris, like so with Obsessed, that's the movie with Beyonce in that joint too, right? Okay. Why you gotta say it like that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know it.
Cowboy Carter.
Woo! You already know.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this. Okay, as you're give me some of those experiences. Like, man, what were those conversations like with Idris? You know, I know that he's a very eccentric person. Is he somebody who's like a very talkative? Is he somebody who like drops gems? Like how did that rapport go?
Honestly, man, Idris is probably one of the top celebrities that I worked with as far as how he take care of his team, how he looked after his people. We used to talk crap to each other and play FIFA soccer, you know what I mean, on PlayStation and stuff like that. Like he's a real genuine dude, you know, and yeah, you know, he'll talk to you if you know, close enough to him. And so, yeah, I like with all my clients, man, I try to become more than just a barber, because to me, it's like you want to dive into who they are as people, because they need friends too. You know what I mean? So it ain't always about just serving them as a barber, but more so like, yo, like even still to this day, some of my clients, I just text them and be like, hey man, I hope you're doing good, keep being great, you know, or how you feeling, how the kids, how the wife, like, you know, just because it's bigger than that. And I don't want to take, to me, that's a part of the barbershop element that lose out when you become a celebrity barber or celebrity stylist sometimes.
Dive into that right there, because I think a lot of barbers don't get to see, they see all the dope things about being a celebrity barber, and then some of them might try to find, you know, imaginary things to be like, I don't even want to be a celebrity barber because, you know, celebrities make you do this. Like give a real in-depth thought process of like the difference between being a celebrity barber and a barber who's a celebrity in a shop. Like, give me the two different dynamics of those.
I think the dynamic of being a barber in the shop, being a celebrity in the shop, the community is coming to you. You know, people are coming to you. They're expecting you to be there. They rely on your conversation. They rely on your leadership. And sometimes it's like when a kid is not doing right, the parents rely on us to have a conversation from the kid to the kid. You know what I mean? So it's a little different there. And what you see on TV when you're working with celebrities, sometimes that ain't even our best work. That's just what we got to do. You know what I mean? Like we got to have this word called continuity. We don't want to do the same damn haircut for 8 weeks straight, but we got to do it. And, you know, and I think that element of feeling the love when your people come into the shop is lost when you're working on set, because it's like the celebrity deal with so much. So then you got to monitor their energy. If they don't want to talk, you got to make sure you're not talking to them. And it's so many different variables. But for me, it was more or less like, let me get cool with this dude, not because he's a celebrity and because, you know, I could gain something from him. It was more or less, let me get cool with him just so I could talk to him human to human, man to man, or, you know, even if it was a female client of mine.
So, I mean, you getting amazing clients like that, like Idris, and you're doing a lot of sets. I remember you started cutting Kendrick too. Like, what was like, because I know that y'all are all around in that same area. Like, how did that come about?
So Dave Free, Kendrick's manager.
Okay.
And his Dave best friend was Duran. They lived in Paramount. I was cutting Duran hair. Duran brought Dave to me, and Dave and Duran used to have this thing called Real Talk Tuesday, where they just jump on Facebook Live, go crazy, and then get off. And so Dave brought J-Rock to me. Then J-Rock brought Kendrick to me. And then Kendrick and Dave and everybody else brought Top to me. And then it opened up the door a little bit for Schoolboy. And then I was running, you know. that's literally how that happened, bro. Just taking baby steps and working each client, each relationship, and it just opened up as many doors as possible.
What's that like seeing somebody go from, hey, just a regular rapper to a global icon over some time, and even like just going from a label that might have 2 or 3 amazing artists to like growing to something that's just, outstanding and historic. You know what I'm saying?
It's actually it's a blessing. I feel like so many young barbers don't understand that when you work around greatness, you could tell who's gonna be a great and who's gonna be around for a long time. Mm-hmm. So then you gotta have different type of conversations with them. Because if you're trying to elevate and grow, those are the guys you want to talk to. Those are the ladies you want to talk to. And so I spent a lot of time with Kendrick just talking. I knew diss records that he was going to put out before they even came out, or if they never did come out. I heard stuff, and he would be like, John, check this out, bro. And we would go back and listen to stuff and just have real heartful conversations as men. But I spent that time with Kendrick, and I learned how to, do certain things. I watched him go from small venue stages to club stages to then I watched him rocking arenas and all of this. So to be a part of that, it taught me how to rock a stage. And I went and I spoke with Kendrick on his Mr. Morale, Mr. Big Steppers tour.
Yeah.
I flew to Nashville and hung out, and I talked to him, and I thanked him. I thanked him for the opportunity he gave me. I thanked him for allowing me to be great with him and allowing me to see what quality leadership is like when you get into a certain space. And I told him, he taught me a lot. And I told him that the reason why I won my NAHA award was part ways because how I got to sit back and watch him. And just having like that kind of shit, man, I think barbers lost that element. Like, if you sitting around greatness for so many years,
bro,
what the hell are you doing not being great?
How you not great?
Yeah.
How you not great, man?
Yeah,
how
just
you not
listen.
great?
Yeah, and so to be able to be a part of that growth, and that element was fucking phenomenal, bro. Like, it was phenomenal to see it. I still, if Drake called me to cut his hair today, I wouldn't do it because my loyalty that good, and even though I'm not Kendrick's barber anymore, but it's just the relationship we built. I still hold that dear and near to my heart.
It's for life all the time, man. When you have that type of kinship with those guys, and you've seen their growth, as you even seen from the beginning, that's something that's different than a lot of other barbers. I got it with Nas when he was already Nas. You know what I'm saying? Right. So to be able to see somebody when they're like, okay, like you said, they're in a club venue, then they're in a theater, then they're rocking a 5,000 seater. Now they're in the arenas. It's like, what? Now this man's in stadiums. It's like, get out of here, dog. Like, doing 2 shows in Toronto for no reason. That's
it was for a reason.
Y'all petty.
I'm just saying, you
Cali niggas is petty. Y'all some petty.
It was for a reason, bro.
Hey, man. So now you've been doing a lot of celebrities. You're able to kind of grow, your brand in that way. Now we start moving into Popular Nobody. Like, how did the Popular Nobody birth? Like, what was the birth process of that?
So I started out as the Barber JM. Okay. And first of all, let's back up real quick.
Okay, back up.
Yeah, let's back up. U-Haul truck this real quick. I got to dump something off.
Yeah.
You threw me a lob to market to Nas. I cut Nas, and that opened up the door for me to work with Bevel and different companies as well. So I appreciate that lob you gave me. I feel like one of my most iconic haircut pictures was on Nas. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know them hands they serious when it's time to be serious, Yes, so I appreciate that. And now we could close the U-Haul and get back on the road.
Hey man, and I think that's something dope that you just did too. Like, it shows us, like, this is how us as OGs like connect and we show love. Like, I'm thankful that you were able to get Nas right for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew it was a big deal. I knew I couldn't get out there, but I knew it had to be somebody on a level of, one, I'm going to do my job and I'm going to make sure that I'm tight. I ain't going to be trying to go behind your back on no other stuff if you need me, because we had already talked about what happened to the other person. Like, buddy. So just to see how, and so like, that's why anytime I know somebody's in Dallas now, I'll be sending them to you. Anytime I know somebody's in, if you're wherever you're at, I'm trying to figure out where you kind of type of people are, because the people that have shown me love, I show love too. You know, it's just it's trust transferred, as Kenny Duncan has said. Trust transferred.
It was literally the conversation, and I think people need to hear how this works. The conversation was, you know, the last guy was taking photos and doing this and doing that, and I'm like, man, I ain't even about that life. You know what I mean? Like, when it's time for the work to be shown, the work gonna be shown no matter what, because it's gonna be good. And so I went into it. We didn't even have to have that conversation because I know what it's like to work with these type of celebrities. You know what I mean? And so I always kept it G like that. But even when my number was requested by Nas and his people, I told them they got to go through you. And I think that part of the element is lost, where it's like motherfuckers be trying to scheme on people and slime ball them so bad that it's like, nah, man, if you want my services, your original barber got to give you the okay to come to me. Or your original barber got to come tell me it's okay to take this job. But I think a lot of that is lost because everybody trying to just post on the gram to show, I cut such and such. Are they trying to brag? Who gives a shit, bro? At the end of the day, you could be replaced too. But how do you handle your business? And that's why, you know, like you said, you can vouch. When my number was asked for, I never slid my number. I said, no, go through bro. And he will get in contact with me to tell me it's okay to move this way.
What do you think are some of the things that have been lost in? I'm not trying to, you know, we OGs. I ain't trying to diss the new generation. I'm just trying to allow the new generation to really be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor and the fruits of relationships and relationship pruning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that sometimes it gets lost now. It's like, yo, every man for himself. But as we can see right now, man, things are starting to shift and change. Like, give us some nuggets on what you think, like where we should be going as a barber community.
First of all, there's a difference between influencer and educator. So that's number one. You know what I mean? And then number two is that the old heads, our OGs, got to listen to the young ones, and the young ones got to be open and be willing to listen to the OGs as well, because we both have, you know, valuable game to give each other. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. We have to move with professionalism in that space. Everybody most of my clients ain't even on the internet, you know, or if they are on the internet, they just scrolling and looking. But I think when you go to somebody's space and you putting them on the internet, taking a picture with them, broadcasting text messages from them, that shit lame. And it's like, young barbers, please stop doing that, man. You fucking up the professionalism. Like, there's no professionalism, I feel, really in our game no more. There's no honor in what we do no more. There's no respect in what we do no more. Like, everybody trying to be cutthroat, bro. And at the end of the day, like, for what? You gonna lose your job at one point too. So I always say, bro, it's certain people that have certain things. Like, for instance, yourself, you was with Nas, you traveled with Nas. You know, John Burgundy travels with Kevin Hart. I was with Kendrick. You know, it's certain guys that really have celebrity status, not because they cutting one-offs, two-offs. When the guy's in your city, he hot and you there because somebody else made a phone call for you. That don't make you a celebrity barber, because you're not understanding the process of being able to look at contracts and say, well, can you put me in your contract to make sure I'm getting this? A lot of people don't even understand that side of it, bro. So it's like the younger guys gotta understand that. They gotta get with the OGs of this shit to really understand how to protect themselves and do business the right way. And then the OGs gotta be willing to show them. You know, so I'm big, and if you notice, I'm big on mentorships, man. I done mentored so many people in this game because it's like we supposed to. And I always look at, like, people complain about the community but don't even get their ass in the community. So it's the same thing in this industry. Like, how you gonna ask for change and you not being a part of it?
Say a word. Come on now, you about to get on where's your soapbox at? Where the organ at?
Man, you just caught a piece of passion.
Come on, man. That's what it is, man. We passionate.
Some of that passion.
Old school niggas don't know. Them young boys don't know nothing about that.
Nah.
But yeah, man. So speaking of being passionate about, and you brought this up there's a difference between an influencer and an educator. And bro, you've won BarberCon Educator of the Year, Barber of the Year. You've won NAHA Educator of the Year. You've won Icon Community Award. You've won OG Barber of the Year. You've won Educator of the Year. Shoot, this year you won Educator of the Year at BarberCon. Shoot, Martin Salon, what, top 100, bro? You got all these type of things going on. Like, you see how he starts getting in the seat. Yeah,
motion.
It's motion, bro. So like, man, like, tell me about that type of motion and like now being recognized as one of the best to ever do education in the barber space. Like, when you first started doing education, was this your goal? How did you even get to this to be your goal? Who helped you come along to be a educator as yourself?
So my mother put me on stage first. Okay. It always go back to the originals.
Yeah, the OG.
My mother put me on. Yeah, she put me on the stage first, and then I realized like I got a gift to teach people. And then I started honing in on my craft, and then I took a class from Roderick Samuels. That's big bro, Took a class from Roderick, and he had this thing called edutainment. And I was like, damn, I like that. And so I just adapted edutainment, and that's what I call my education. And he still call it that as well. But it's just a concept behind entertaining people to get them to understand the message. And so when I'm on these platforms, when I'm on stage, I'm making you laugh, I'm making you have fun, but I'm also making you remember what I gotta deliver. And then I just broaden my spectrum, to open up to teaching all kind of classes. Like 2 weeks ago, I was in Orlando Premiere. I taught 8 classes in 2 days. And I taught everything from color to business to branding to marketing to cutting to styling, a hands-on class. So you open up that market. It ain't just about a fade. And that's what people get wrong sometimes. And the influencers are stuck on fading. But an educator is stuck on the process of why you do what you do, how you do what you do, and then you tell people and share what you know from what you've been able to accomplish and do. And so that's literally how it navigated and happened. And then all the brands started to pick me up. A lot of people don't know I wrote Paul Mitchell's barbering curriculum for their whole company. You know what I mean? So it's just not.
I took my hat off, but I ain't got no cut. How about two?
But you know what I mean? So it's bigger than what you see me do on stage. A lot of the work is done behind the scenes. Like in my cell phone, I got 8 classes right now that I could pull up a keynote presentation for and teach off the cuff because I practice my routine. I know things. I train like a comedian. I write certain one-liners. I do certain things. I've been practicing with a camera in my face before I even had a platform to do so. So when people see me on stage and they're like, damn, bro, you like a natural. Because I practice this shit, bro.
Yeah,
right? You know what I mean? And so winning NAHA, North America Hairdressing Award, right? That NAHA, I won. Great. Yeah, right? So North America Hairdressers Association, PBA said, this is the best guy. And I was the first barber to win it ever, first black man to win it ever. But then the funny thing is my brother Roderick Samuels went the next year behind me and won it too. Another barber.
And that's crazy that that Roderick Samuels gets to have that type of amazing life because his mentee wins it first. And then the following year, it's like, I proved it to you guys. This is why I'm who I am. I just made last year's guy, this guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope that you even shown, passing homage to your OGs because that's something that is missing. And it's like, there's nothing that doesn't take anything away from you by you describing it. Only verifies you even more when you're able to say, no, I come from this type of cloth. My mom has been in the hair industry and has been educating since before your mama had hair. You know what I'm saying? Like my mentors have been running schools. My mentors have been, doing curriculum. They showed me how to write curriculum. Speaking of curriculum, man, like how does one come into the mindset of starting to like write curriculum for Paul Mitchell? Like what are the steps to doing that?
It was an opportunity that was presented to me and a few others. And just sad to say, like ain't no only cap I got is New Era. The others didn't take full advantage of the opportunity. And I looked at it and said, okay, if I could do this for them, I could do it for me. So let me practice on them. You know what I mean? And it worked. And now Paul Mitchell is using my brain to supply the world with new barbers every day. You know what I mean? I'm still an executive director for 6 Paul Mitchell barber schools. You know what I mean? So like I said, people don't even know this. Like this is still in my back pocket. My backpack, my back pocket. Like I'm still doing stuff. you know, and the mindset was take what I know and put it on paper. But then I had to structure it a certain way. I had to have people around me to help me structure it a certain way. But and then I had them come in and film me and ask me what was the tricks that I was doing with my hands and how was I moving my hands in certain things. But also too, when I wrote the curriculum, once again paying homage to an OG, I called Curtis and said, "Hey Kurt, you created the South of France." That was when that Usher haircut was booming. So I said, "Yo, I want to put this inside this curriculum because I feel like, you know, I got to pay homage somewhere." So I put it in the curriculum and did that too. You know what I mean? So it's like I always give back to where it's supposed to be given, you know. And on the other side of that, I just took what I knew, man, and I went running, and I ain't looked back, and I still ain't looking back. I don't worry about what's going on behind me. I'm just running.
Okay, man. You running. Speaking of running, man, I heard that you invested some of your own money to do a deal. I was like, okay, big money, dropping money with other big companies to do big company stuff. So tell us about that Andis partnership.
So it was crazy. I heard that, you know, there was like, it ain't never gonna happen, and this will never do it, and this will never do that. So I've always had B. Clark customize my clippers, always.
Yeah, D. Clark, yeah, that's the guy.
You know, because I feel like people take so many photos of our hands and what we doing. So the easiest way to market is put my logo on the clipper.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even think about that bevel shoot with Nas.
Yeah.
The clipper is in there. My hand and my face not in there at all. But
your
the clipper
hand
was, right? And they say Popular Nobody on the clipper. So it's like those kind of things that I look at. And so people was like, oh yeah, it'll never happen. It won't be this, it won't be that. And so I just stuck it out. And then I said, okay, well, I know how to make shit move. Money make things move, bro. Yeah. And so when the conversation came back up, they threw me a number that was around 30,000.
You had a toothpick in your mouth? What do you say? That 30,000 shit.
Nah, man, I started praying. What the fuck?
Okay.
How the hell?
Lord, help me, please.
Hey, you know that little girl, she was like, shit.
Yeah. God damn. Yeah.
Bro, that was me.
Fire cussing out the walls.
Trying to figure it out. And so I said, you know what? You only get one opportunity to be first.
Serious about growth? Then don't just stop at listening. Step into our appointment only tour. We can't wait to see you share your wins, promote or find gigs, and even get featured in our exclusive member spotlight. This is where barbers get seen and grow together. Book it. Hit that button, livesuprema.com, and let's do this thing.
Man, you a hair dope boy. Stop playing with him. You know what I'm saying? You had to drop 30. I had to drop 30 to get a brick, about 5 bricks.
Hey,
man, I'm over here now. Turn that thing up. So tell me how that like really. I know that had to give you a different insight on business as a result of it. Like, what were some of those things that kind of shaped your mind from that contract and that collaboration? Like, what shaped your mind for the future?
What shaped my mind for the future is just how to continue to move and do business. So when people say, you hear music artists say, I own my own masters, I really do. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
They not sold on Andis website. At the time, you could only get them through popularnobody.com. You couldn't get them from nowhere else. No beauty supplies, no distributors had it, just me. And then I put the deal together and I put all the pieces together. 10,000 went to a Change is Coming scholarship fund out of DeSoto, Texas.
Okay.
B. Clark. Think about it. B. Clark, a barber. You know, a lot of people don't know that, but another barber created the artwork for it.
B. Clark.
Yeah, B. Clark nasty.
He did some of my stuff too, man.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? So put B. Clark in the mix, and you know, paid him and for his portion of it. And then it was just my marketing brain. You know, I told Andis I didn't want the regular old box no more, so my box is white. Andis ain't never did a white box. Yeah. My box is white. I put the Gorilla logo on it. You know, my signature, all of that stuff. And what it did was it taught me how to market in a different arena and go bigger and play bigger. You know, even down to the custom boxes. When you get a Popular Nobody box shipped to you, the tape say Popular Nobody on it. The box got the Gorilla on it, because as that package goes through the mail, I want people to always go back and look up like, man, what is this Popular Nobody shit? You know? And so I just turned into a different marketing animal. I turned into a different a different type of businessman. You know, when you put $30,000 of your own money into something, you gonna be like, this shit can't fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you taking food out of your family mouth and you taking a big risk. And so that's literally how I looked at it. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be a big risk guy to get big reward.
Yeah. That's dope, man. You know, I see that you even like from Andis, Paul Mitchell, Vagaro, and I know that with Salon Centric, you're doing some great stuff now. What's going on with them?
So even just with Vagaro too, I'll back it up the U-Haul trucker real quick. Shout out to Vagaro, you know, another booking software. I tell people, if you're a chop shop barbershop, you're not ready for Vagaro yet. Vagaro is going to be for the barber that is looking to really scale their business and really make opportunities happen. And then they allowed me another part of my vision. You know, I'm passionate about producing and creating. So we came up with a series called Shopping, where I go to barbershops in the community and feature the barbershop, the owner, and what they got going on. So kind of like dive in the diners, like but in the barbershop space. So I've been doing that with Vagaro and just uplifting and putting a spotlight on places that might not be, you know, spotlighted. And then moving forward with Salon Centric, that's a beauty, that's a blessing. You know, they're L'Oreal. You know, a lot of people don't understand how much L'Oreal own. So I'm going to challenge everybody listening to this. Just type in, you know, what does L'Oreal own, and go see who that partnership is. Because working with Salon Centric, I'm a part of the It Takes a Pro team. I get to create content for them, and they post the content, or I post the content. I get to be on stage at their shows. I host education events for them. And then they also gave me another light where they know my passion and production and all that. They let me host all their shows last year. Instead of just cutting hair, I got to actually host the show, be the MC, provide the energy. So, you know, just playing in those spaces that companies value also what Popular Nobody vision is.
Yeah. You know, you spoke about being a comedian, and one of my favorite comedians you cut, your boy Charleston White. You know, we talk about barbershop talk, you know what I'm saying? So, and as we know, Charleston has literally revolutionized barbershop talk on every platform. So, like, what's that experience like, linking up with like Charleston and like having these type of conversations? What's that experience like?
It's funny because what everybody think of Charleston White, you got him totally wrong. You know what I mean? He funny as hell.
Yeah.
He definitely knows how to break the internet. He knows how to play with the algorithm and all of that. When you talk to him, bro, solid. You know what I mean? He's a solid guy. And one of the first interviews me, him, and his brother did together with Antoine Daniels, Antoine asked me, like, how do people feel about you working with Charleston? I said, man, people don't need to know, you know, my business and who I work with. And I was already cutting him before this interview. And so now you see him putting me out there. Like, he just put a video about coming to the comedy club in Atlanta, and I cut his hair and I was coloring it, and he was talking about, you know, so it's, and
I saw y'all were on the
Barber
Plug joint. Shouts out to the Barber Plug, man.
Yeah, you know, so it's one of them things, like relationships, building that relationship with him. He one of the guys that I send a text to, hey, black man, just checking on you. You good? I know it's hectic out there on the road. I'm on the road too. Just boom. You know, so his mom called me son. You know what I mean? I'm part of the family. But it's just people take what they see on the internet from him and go crazy with it. But the brother is,
I rock with it. I be rocking with Charles. I be rocking with what Charles be talking about. I'm like, you darn right. Forget them babies. Fuck them babies.
But it's all. But he says that to then get you to hear what's coming right behind it.
I've heard his tactics, and I really like. I see what's going on. Like, as you say, he knows how to manipulate the algorithms to be able to get the message out. You know, the toxicity in our community a lot of times. Mm-hmm. You know, like, oh, you don't see how dumb this is? That's why I'm talking to you. Yeah. That's why I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Like the old uncle type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That is.
Hey. Yeah. Okay, so we talked about educators. We talked about influencers. I have a couple more questions, and I'm gonna let you roll.
For sure.
Where do you think trends in the hair industry start now? Do you think they start on social media? Do you think they start on the stage, or do you think they start in like classes? Where do you think that it's really being birthed from now?
I think trends all start from social media because our access to around the world is in our hand. When before it wasn't. You had to go to a show to see a trend. You had to really go to an education event to learn a trend. Now, shit, the trend is on the internet. You know,
it's on the internet.
Before, for me as a barber, my trend learning haircuts was coming from soccer. Whatever World Cup was doing, I knew it was coming. So. But now it's so much creativity and so much motion all around the world that it's right there in our hands. So, even at the show, I tell people, you're running into the show floor to spend money, but the money is actually made inside the classroom.
Yep.
So while you running out there to catch a deal, you missing the deal.
You missing the deal because you over here trying to buy some deals.
100%, and that's how I look at it.
If growing your brand, building connections, and access to knowledge is a priority, then our fully booked tier is for you. Get access to exclusive podcast shoutouts, in-person and virtual events, discounted tickets to masterclasses and workshops, and extended office hours with the founders and top industry mentors. It's everything you need to sharpen your business, not just your craft. Tap in now at livesuprema.com and let's lock in.
All right. Hey, you a hooper or a football player more?
Both. I'm like 50-50.
Okay. All right. So I like to ask this question. This is the fun portion of the joint. All right. So let's go with hooping, right? Mm-hmm. John Mosley is to barbering as is to basketball.
Oh shit. I'm gonna probably say Kobe and Draymond Green.
Okay, the Kobe and Draymond Green of barbering.
Yeah.
Tell me why. I want to know why.
Because Kobe, that mindset, that mentality, like I said, I take this very serious. I eat, sleep, and drink what I do, so that's that Mamba mentality. I'm going to win. I'm going to, put in the energy and effort. And then the Draymond Green is that so many people take me wrong because of how serious I am, but that's just passion.
It's passion.
You know what I mean? And when you look at Draymond, why is it that everybody like Draymond, but on the court they hate him? It's the passion. Ain't no friends between these lines.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's very misunderstood when it comes to what people perceive passion and foolishness, And so that's why I say Kobe and Draymond.
Okay. All right. So next one. Here we go. You got a 5-chair shop. You got one of the chairs. Who are the other 4 barbers?
Damn.
And why? And tell me why.
Who are the other 4 barbers?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one's not gonna be a barber. It's gonna be Stormy Kelly.
Okay.
She's a Cosmo, but she cut hair with clippers. But
okay.
Everybody thinks she a barber, so she's not. But I'm gonna put that in there. The second chair, man, that's hard, man. I got my brother Larry. Is he gonna be the comedian in there? So you always gotta add characters to
you gotta have a comedian in the shop.
Yeah, you gotta have a character, somebody that you could banter back and forth with.
Yeah.
I like my guy Hawk. I like his energy. I like Brandy.
Okay. So that's your 4 chairs right there. Brandy. Yeah, that's your 4. Brandy, Larry, Hawk, and Scott. You said Stormy. Yeah, Stormy. Yeah.
Damn, that's my 4. It's so many others.
I know that. Hey, but that's what it is. Unfortunately, y'all gotta wait till somebody leave the shop, and then y'all get fired.
But I know one thing. I know for sure, we all gonna inspire each other. We all gonna get money together. We all gonna pray and break bread together.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we all gonna put out dope ass work and enjoy working with each other.
Come on, man. Hey, man, this has been amazing, bro. I really appreciate you for jumping on, spending some time with me, man. Like, all I had to do was send a DM. He was like, hell yeah, man. It's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, tell them what you got coming up. Tell them what you're working on, how they can catch you, how they can find you, how they can subscribe to other stuff. Tell them all the stuff, man.
So, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Popular Nobody. I'm working on some dope podcast stuff right now. So we're gonna have to flip this one on the other side.
Yeah. I'm with it.
I got the podcast coming. I already got the podcast called Nobody Listens, but I also starting a new one that's more mindset built called the Unstoppable Mind.
Okay.
And that's gonna be like a little power listen. I just finished. I wrote my book called Public Speaking Beyond Words, The Art of Public Speaking from a Platform Artist Perspective. So I got that up. I'm also building out my online module courses, and it's not just haircutting, it's everything, marketing, branding, business, coaching, all of that, teaching people how to get it, the real way, the authentic way, with no money down. You feel me?
Yeah, no money, no money, no credit. We got you, baby.
Yeah,
we got you. Come on down to get your car $700,000 payment, but you all right, baby.
You gonna make it.
We gonna make it to point A to point B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I got all that going on. And then I'm looking to build out Popular Nobody brand more with more artists.
Okay.
To come up under the collective. And kind of get this mentorship and guidance to continue to serve purpose in the industry and leave my legacy in a different way. So I got that going on. And then, just all of that, man. Just hella motion. You know, just hella motion. Just Instagram, Popular Nobody. YouTube, Popular Nobody. Your mama's house, Popular Nobody.
Hey,
Facebook.
tell about the mama's house. Hey, here's why he the Draymond Green, y'all. He come to your mama's house. He coming to your mama's house.
You know what? You didn't ask me about my football player, but the football player is Marshawn Lynch.
Ooh, because what they gonna do when you keep hitting them in the mouth? You know what I'm saying?
Keep running through it, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's running through a motherfucker. You gonna either stop. Yeah, that's what it is.
Marshawn Lynch, man.
Marshawn Lynch.
And when you see my personality, you know, I walk in the building, I bring energy. I'm having fun, and I'm always gonna be me. And I think that's why people love me in this industry because, you know, love me or hate me. At the end of the day, you got to respect it. Just whatever you want to call me, put Mr. in front of it.
Yeah, Mr. Popular Nobody.
Mr. Successful asshole, Mr. Successful son of a bitch. Just Mr. Successful, please put that in there.
Hey, they already got it in there. They got all your accolades, so they already put that in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. You know,
and put Educator of the Year by there too, and then Barber of the Year, Stylist of the Year, and all that stuff.
Bro,
man.
you know, I won Educator of the Year at CT Barber Grammys 3 weeks ago, and I won Barber of the Year, Educator of the Year at BarberCon last weekend.
That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like,
crazy.
These are historic things that, you know, a lot of times barbers kind of try to keep things to the wraps because, you know, we feel like you may catch some hate online or some, you know, like envy. But for the real ones, you have to state the blessings because there's people out here who need inspiration to be like, yo, this can be you. This will be you. This not can be you. This will be you with a good attitude and a mindset of like, yo, I see that I can make it to this level, that this level even exists. Some of the people who watch this podcast did not know that you just need to have that bread and be like, yo, what's up, company? What's happening, company? You know, betting on themselves. They don't know about, you know, negotiating to get into your stars deal. That's even a hack right there for you, a lot of you guys, because I did the same thing. I was taught the same way by my OGs. Like, yo, you tell that star, hey man, just have me go with the company. The company got a bigger budget than you do, and I don't want you being mad at me. You know what I'm saying? I much rather you have the company be like, oh my gosh, that's obnoxious for somebody to charge that for a haircut.
So
Susie Miss Susie,
you picked the wrong job, Susie.
Susie, I know you've never gotten a haircut, and your boyfriend Tyler gets a haircut every 2 months. But this haircut's gonna last and be iconic for years to come. I.e., why I am charging this, just like you would charge for. I don't get licensing on the music as the artist who's playing behind the thing will get when this ad runs. I'm getting my money all up front. I don't get any residuals, so I got to make sure that you give me what I need to get.
Yeah, please pay me or pay me no mind. That's it.
Easy. It's easy. It's very easy. It's very easy, man. Before I leave, man, I just want to again thank you, man, for your impact on the industry, the impact on the community, the impact on my career as well. I see you and I admire you and I see what you're doing, and I'm always like, yo, I got to step it up. You know, from the curriculum to how you handle yourself on stage, how you handle yourself at these shows. Me and you always show love towards one another. I'm excited that you're still my brother, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that, you know, throughout these years, I mean, this is like probably like 10 plus years that I've known you now, you know, and actually personally like really rock. And it's just like, you haven't changed. You've only elevated. And I love that for you, man. And I appreciate you for your time. This has been an amazing episode, as you guys can see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure they check out the merch too. You feel me?
Yeah. Popular Nobody. Come on, man. Go to the website. He gonna send me some merch, y'all, because you know he knows I'm a popular nobody too. So,
hey, man, we all popular nobodies amongst our friends.
Come on, man. You already know. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so very much. Like, subscribe, share. Be sure to tell everybody about this podcast. Listen to it in your shop. Get inspired. Talk to it about your clients, man. This is what it is. This is what the Barber Star is, because every barber needs a blessing like this. Every barber needs a blessing like this, to listen to OGs chop it up. And always remember, every star needs a barber, but every barber ain't no star. Shouts out to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See y'all next time. Boom. Yes, my dude. See, hey,
success.